I'm really excited about today. I do want to start by telling you all, I know there was a lot of questions. We have a lot of customers on here that are not ambassadors. I just want to thank the platinum and silver leaders that really lead with grace and integrity and leadership, as well as servitude. I know that means that we don't always all agree and we always have questions, which is a part of leading and serving. I haven't weighed in on a lot of things because I have been focused so much on the product standpoint and what we're doing, as well as global affairs, so we can continue to do this as a group. I have really paid attention globally to the regulatory rules and to what's happening. I am making sure that I cover Germany and that we're adding statements to all videos and everything that we do that says we don't even claim to prevent anything. And I'm doing that to protect this community. So as we grow and transition between a bridge between traditional and non-traditional care, we can be seen as a group that's really willing to follow guidelines, but also create new guidelines for future generations and our generations, so we can make these changes which incorporate really wellness into an entire healthcare system throughout the globe. And that means making sure that I'm protecting your groups and you with everything that I say and everything that I do. So if you guys have any comments on any of the new things that will come out, please let me know. I am releasing things under DRC Ventures and ISNS, which I talk about per diagnosis, but in there you will see again that we aren't claiming to prevent or to do anything, because we have to make sure we're protecting you guys as we grow this. I was in some interesting meetings this week so far, and this last weekend, about how we can start working with different carriers. We had some representatives from the European Union there that I was able to meet with, so that we can try to really help this organization. And I keep going back to this. This group has been the group that has really made the changes. You know, it was launched during COVID and during a pandemic, and the leadership of this group went out diligently to help people throughout the world in their approach to wellness. The work that was done by the main leaders in this group has been tremendous, and I want to personally thank them, because without their leadership, we would not be here. And without their leadership right now, we won't grow to where we need to grow, because we are going to continue to do some huge things throughout the world to really impact our healthcare system. I will tell you this, the Sculpt has gotten more attention than anything we've ever launched, not just in this community, but I have received so many phone calls, emails, how do I say this, with extremely prominent people of all age groups interested in partnering with this community in this endeavor for weight loss. I am not a huge fan of the World Economic Forum. I went there so I could speak about how we are going to make changes. I am against depopulation. I am for longevity and for protecting our health, but obesity is one of the top topics throughout the world. We are coming in at a strategic time to really make an impact. In a world where insurance carriers are paying $1,500 to $2,000 per person for a shot to help them lose weight, we just came into a marketplace with key ingredients that are made naturally without the side effects that pharmaceutical products have. We brought in new nutraceuticals that are made from vines, from herbs, from plants, to really impact people at not $2,000 a shot or $1,500 a shot, but at $90 to $100. We are at a fantastic platform to make a difference. And so I really cringe a little bit when I say weight loss, because this is a lot more than weight loss. This whole platform is about really giving the world solutions so they can help their life and they can live a life of greatness, enlightenment, and betterment. So without further information, let's go on to the next slide, Tiger, and let's talk about the medical disclaimer. So as you guys know, this is for educational purposes. It's not intended for medical advice or a substitute for medical advice of a physician or other qualified healthcare professional. You should not use this information for diagnosing a health or fitness problem or disease. You should always consult with a doctor or healthcare professional for medical advice or information about diagnosis and treatment. Again, we're not claiming to prevent, cure, or solve anything. We're claiming to give people what they need to get to the root of the cause so that they can have the best life possible. This is a 30-day nutraceutical program that's focused on a lot more than just weight loss. It's on creating individual, personalized medicine for people so that they can live the best life possible. So let's get into the program. So this program is being made into an app. I worked on it this week and this weekend. We should be done within 30 days so that you guys can have this for your groups. This program is incorporating basically really everything we've done at Root. It is focused on specific products predominantly, but you'll see how it incorporates everything. And I'm fine with different variations of this. If you guys want to use it within your groups and add different things that you think could be helpful, that will help your groups really grow. This is just a platform so you can share it. And when it gets on your phone, I had to do some changes yesterday to what I'm working on because in Europe, you guys have a lot of Androids and not Apple phones. So I'm having to make sure it's going to work across all the different platforms. But the goal would be you guys would be able to take this platform, and we're calling it the Rahm Effect, and I want to explain that to you all too. We're trying to tag hashtag Rahm Effect on social media. We're going after, in the next 30, 60 days, up to the next 6 months, even a younger generation. We want you guys to be able to have access to the gaming industry, to e-streaming and different platforms like that. And so we're working at coordinating some strategic partnerships that you guys can come into later and really grow. That's important, just like we're going into India, right? That gives you a platform that you'll be able to go into India, which is your most populated place. It's even higher than China now. We want you guys to go in and grow those environments in your networks and platforms. So we're really trying to integrate these different pieces. We understand that it's not just my family and my children that need help with their health, but it's an entire elderly and younger generation. So we're really trying to really go throughout those platforms. At the same time, we're working in a partnership that we will roll out when we finish, which has to do with, again, your elderly populations and what's happening in these different countries. I'm telling you all this because I want you to start thinking when you are talking to customers, what are you bringing them? What is the value of what you're doing? And you all are bringing them this specific plan. You'll be able to share it with your links and with the different things you're doing on your apps once we are finished. So let's go through this day-to-day program. And just so you guys know, this is the beginning of this. We are looking at launching a longevity program, a sexual health program. We are going to launch the books behind it so you guys have it so that you're able to really come to people and say, no, this isn't Weight Watchers, but this is the Root program to really help you with your life. And that's really the direction we're moving so that you guys have the tools that you need. We really highlighted, or I did when I wrote it, Sculpt, ReLive Greens, and Give Me Back My Youth. Restore, Zero In, and Crush were also targeted. Those are really important to me because I think that you need different things to go along with what you're doing. Immune Defense Shield and the other products like Skin Defense are important too, but we started with these main products so that we could really launch it and then grow it. Like I said, this is a starting point for you guys to have. Any feedback you have on this, and I'm not just saying this, I mean this, please bring this to your upline or to your leaders, because I will be meeting with the leadership group and the platinum group to make sure that I get feedback on this so we can make this better. Duquesne and Dylan and Patrick and Ted and Clayton also and Marty weighed in on this as well. So we will continue again. Think of this as our program. We're going to continue to make this the best you can. So for example, if Priscilla has an idea, or Stephanie or Birgit or whoever, I want to know those in the next 30 days before the app is finished, so we can incorporate those into what we're doing so that your groups really have a program that you guys can be proud of. So let me say this too. I get a lot of questions on dosing. I'm going to address that, but I want you guys to know that they can consult with their physician, they can consult with a doctor, or they can also listen to their own bodies. And I will get into that because these are natural products that have been used, and that's why it's so important to have this into the program. Okay. So I'm going to start by going over just a little bit more about Sculpt. We talked about that last week, but for any of you guys that weren't on this call, I want to make sure that you understand really this particular product. I apologize for the label problems. It should have said 60. We're correcting it. I know Patrick has worked on that. We're trying to make sure that we rectify all of this so that you have the appropriate packaging and that you guys can communicate that to your customers. But this was designed to really support healthy weight loss or weight management. It's also targeted to really reduce excess glucose and calories, and it helps with appetite and increased fat burning. I know there's a lot of people that have lost, 3 pounds in a week. That wasn't my goal. My goal was to help each individual, again, have the best life and bodies possible. But this is a multifaceted technology. We use different things that I patented or filed patents on, as well as InnoSlim, which I explained to everyone I could have done that on my own without including InnoSlim. I included InnoSlim so that we would have clinical data already done to add to the clinical data we will be gathering right now. But I want you guys to understand, when they take this product, it isn't just the fact that the appetite is being suppressed, or that the fat is burning in the body, or that the calories are being reduced. It's also really aiding the body in glucose levels and fatty acid breakdowns. It also is assisting in everything that's happening along with this excess glucose, because glucose is a major problem in this world. It's a major issue. Your insulin's not working, the glucose levels aren't working, and we've really got to get that in check. Clean Slate is really the first step. And if you ask me why it's not included in this 30-day plan, it was highlighted certain products. But again, we will bring in additional products as we grow this. I was assuming everyone would start with Clean Slate. Your issue is going to be, you're going to have people out there that have never heard of Clean Slate. So I want you guys to think about this. As we grow this and people start seeing this, they're going to come to you just for Sculpt or Crush, because you've got a weight loss product and you've got a peptide formula. And the peptide formula is not like the other peptide formulas out there. And people that criticize that peptide formula, they don't know what they're talking about, because a lot of the peptide formulas long-term do not work. The one we will launch is going to be absolutely fantastic, and it's going to include the aminos and peptides people need. So those two products, people are going to come to you guys and say, I want to know about Sculpt, or I want to know about Crush. And I'll use me personally as an example. One of my best friends from grade school contacted me and said, I just had a friend send me Sculpt, and they said I had to take this. Is this your product? You might think, well, that was a friend I grew up with in my small town of 5,000-6,000 people. And why didn't they know that I did products? They just don't know. They listened to my Instagram. They didn't completely understand it, but they heard about Sculpt because all their friends are using it or ordering it, and they wanted it. I also had a cousin, April Rahm, who reached out to me with the same thing. She just started Sculpt. Again, I'm her cousin, but I've never sent her a link. I've never done anything. You guys are going to be approached. So we started this 30-day program. I did, assuming we wanted to draw people in, and then later we can explain Clean Slate and everything else. This program is not specifically made just for this community. This program that involves Sculpt and weight loss is made for you all to go out and really talk to people and gain new customers as well. So I hope that makes sense. Let's go on to the next slide, Tiger. So here's your, again, the 30 capsules, it should have said 60. Again, we apologize for that. You've got your labels right here, which talk about your halal and your kosher as well as GMP. And yes, it is vegan extracts that are being used. Was not made in a completely vegan facility, but it was made with vegan ingredients, just so you guys know in case you ask. There's 2 tablets that are discussed. I think I explained this. I usually took 1. Sometimes I took 2. Right now, I'm still losing weight. I'm just going to be honest. And I only take 1 or 2 a week. And if you ask me, why am I still losing weight? I don't know. My body is kind of converted, and I think it's functioning better as far as the weight loss part of my body, because I really needed to, from a cardiovascular perspective and from a blood pressure perspective, I needed to lose weight. And I think that's what I really want to emphasize with you all. This is a product to really help people with their health and in support of it, and not just for the weight loss aspect. It's helping with the sugar control, it's helping with the fat absorption, it's helping with the glucose, it's helping people with diabetes. We can't make a claim that we're curing or preventing something, but the key ingredients, we're focused on doing that in this particular product. So you can go ahead and go to the next slide. So why was ReLive Greens something that was so important to add to this? I know that a lot of people that lose weight take a power bar, or they'll do a protein or green shake. I wanted to at the same time bring in greens. If you look at the 30-day program, they can eat other greens, but we wanted to recommend if they wanted something that was GMO tested, if they wanted something that had the seeds and the plant sourced from all over at the best aspect and made in the best formulation, we wanted to give them this option. We also wanted to show through this program how it helps boost metabolism and maximize the body's ability to support ketosis. You guys may or may not have known this, but in the beginning of Root, I actually made a ketosis product that would send the body into ketosis. However, after studying all the nutrition programs and going back to Cornell, I understood that I didn't want to do that on a continuous basis. So we pulled the ketosis product, and this is the new product that came out along with things like ReLive Greens. Again, you're helping support the microbiome of the body. And I want to explain this. There's a lot of products out there that people are losing weight, but it's not supporting the microbiome or the organs or the entire body. Our products are aimed not just at that weight loss, but at supporting the overall balance of the body. Another thing that we are focused on, of course, is eliminating the toxins, which most of us on this call start with the clean slate, and I always recommend it. But again, the purpose of this plan is to draw people in that were already on a lot of the existing products and have them understand the overall philosophy of the company. Sometimes when you bring up to people every single product Root has, it's too much for them. You got to do it in baby steps. And your top leaders in this company are great at that. They understand that if they go into a meeting and someone says, well, I want a weight loss product, you don't automatically bring in, but you got to start with clean slate. And of course, that's what we all want to say because we know how important it is. But sometimes you need a different approach. So remember to listen to what your customers and audience wants and grab them into what you're doing through that. And again, a lot of people are interested in weight loss and a lot of people are interested in working out. That's why this program is so important. But with ReLive Greens, I thought it was important because when you're losing weight, you want to boost energy. Now, I know I've heard from so many people, they're sleeping better, they have more energy on Sculpt, and that's not a coincidence. It's because of the key ingredients that are listed. They actually do help with that as well. But I do think the people that are in Root that are on these other management products around it do even better. Again, ReLive Greens helps with managing diabetes. It helps with weight management. And I want to get into this again. When you have a virus or bacteria, it has multiple approaches in trying to take over your body. The only way you can fight different things in your life is to have multiple approaches. Your body has to be smarter than anything that occurs. And that's what our products do. You're really trying to get the body to adjust so that it's at its highest and best self instead of just giving one product, because some people will say, I just want to take one product and I don't want to take different things. That's great, but long term, for your body really to achieve what it needs to achieve, you're going to add different products that are going to support the overall health of the body. And I hope I'm explaining that correctly. You guys can ask questions at the end, but it's really important that we do this. So ReLive Greens, I think, is a fundamental part. Don't forget this part. ReLive Greens has a pre and probiotic in it. So when people ask you, is there a pre and probiotic that you guys have? Yes, it was used within ReLive Greens. We may come out with a singular packet later. We did not do that because we included it in the Restore and the ReLive Greens at this point. So I did want you guys to know that. Let's go into the next slide and talk about why this was formulated and why we are doing Restore as well. You guys know that Restore was meant once you took Clean Slate to really restore the body. But I think what I didn't talk enough about with Restore is the fact that it also promotes metabolism and weight loss. And it helps with heart functioning because of what's included in this formula. It also boosts energy and it helps reduce inflammation and protect the body. Restore is really important. You could take Clean Slate forever if you don't give your body what it needs, like Restore and ReLive, to support proper functioning in the cells and to support proper communication between the good cells and to get the bad cells to go down. You'll never achieve what you need to achieve. This program that we're talking about goes into gut microbiome. Again, you've got ReLive, you've got Sculpt, and now you've got Restore, and it also goes into anti-aging because we're trying to show people part of healthy weight management is also making sure you're including that you're trying to do anti-aging and really restore the body. The cellular age you have is not your actual age. Your cellular health is really important. You can have people that are 75 years old and their cellular age is 50. True story. Because they're cleaning out their cells and they're supporting them. And that's our goal as an overall company at Root. We want people to live better, longer, greater lives. We have the Restore label that we can show too. I do keep getting questions on how long you have to take Sculpt. You can take it forever. It doesn't have the side effects. The potential side effects it does have, though, is if you don't eat protein or vegetables or something throughout the day, it can cause you to have really lower blood sugar. There are a few people that would be allergic to ingredients like any product, but that is going to be extremely rare because the key ingredients, again, are herbs, plants, vines, seeds, roots in this particular product. With Restore, same thing. You know, I've had people say to me, I'm allergic to curcumin. Well, then you can't take this product. Then I've had people say, I'm allergic to curcumin and I can take this product. Christina, why? My answer is the process that this product is made is made in a cold press formulation, which really helps the product secure in the nutrients and antioxidants and gets rid of the potential things that shouldn't be in this product. All ingredients in our world have been impacted by the environment. It's how they're made, it's how they're generated, it's even the temperature they're made in. And I'll use an example that happened Monday. I was dealing in manufacturing with one of the labs where I had produced the product. The temperature was too hot and humid in the lab, and we had to get rid of an entire batch of products. I'm going to say that again. We had to, in particular, we were working on Reno. We had to get rid and start over on a particular batch of products because I was unwilling to cut corners and I was unwilling to make any mistake as it pertained to Reno or anything I'm producing. 99% of people or companies would not make that decision. That was my decision. Clayton was with me. He backed the decision. And that just points to, again, how important it is that you know the company, you know the formulator, and you know what they're doing. And I don't think we're the only great company out there, but I want to assure the ambassadors and the customers of this company, I care, we care. I don't serve my children food that has mold or has things in it or that isn't good for them if I have an option, and I'll never do it for this community either. So I want you guys to know When those kinds of things happen, yeah, it is a loss to the company and it's a loss actually to this entire community, but we have to be committed to doing the very best work possible. And I can tell you with Restore, that particular product, I've said this before, I had every manufacturer I went to where I worked on the product say they couldn't do it. And finally, we were able to produce the product. It has one of the highest concentrations of turmeric curcumin that I've ever seen, formulated into a small packet. And then the black cumin seed, the aloe vera, the apple cider vinegar. It's an important product to really help the body restore. I had some people say that it has some sugar in it. And the thing is, we use natural sweeteners, and sometimes sugar or different types of sweeteners are catalysts. As long as they're natural and we're not using too much, the body does need some for its energy source. So I do want people to know that it does not kick the body out of ketosis. It's supporting the overall body so that it can hit its highest number. But I'll say this again, your body constantly living in ketosis is not the way you want to live. If your body constantly lives in ketosis at a constant rate, your organs will fail. And that's something people don't understand. So again, you can Google ketosis and WebMD, and some of these sources will say it's great, but being in ketosis constantly isn't, which is why this plan that you're going to see in front of you today is so important. Let's talk about Zero In, which, by the way, as a FYI for this community, I wouldn't be here today without Zero In. Getting back from Europe and then getting on a plane again, and then I'll get on a plane again this weekend. It's a lot. And in order to stay focused, in order to produce, in order to stay on target, I'm going to be honest, in order to not be a mean person, because when you're tired, you don't have as much patience. We need dopamine and serotonin. Let's all admit it. Like, we have to have our bodies supported. We have to have our bodies feeling good. Depression and anxiety and ADHD and autism are rising constantly. I love sitting down and talking to Alina and Roger and Priscilla and all this stuff they're doing with autism and ADHD and how they're improving people's lives all over the world by their testimonies, by their stories, by their laser focus on really helping people. People need Zero In. One of the reasons we are partnering with some of the e-gaming and streaming environment. I'm not an e-gamer. I don't even know what it is. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've got 4 kids. I'm always working. I'm always into science. I did play Madden with them when they were little. I even played Call of Duty and different things when my kids were little, trying to understand what they were playing and trying to know what they were doing. But that's not my area of focus. For all of you guys on this call that are building, for all of you guys on this call that are really reaching out and grabbing people, regardless of their religious belief, regardless of who they are and what they think, you're trying to help people worldwide. This particular product right here is extremely important. You can't touch everyone all the time by talking about detoxing and cleaning. Some people don't even understand it, but you know what you can do? You can talk about Zero In and how important it is for focus and performance and how it can help from everything from sexual performance to mental performance to working out, all of that. You can get to people that way. And then when they try it and it helps them, then later you can go back to them on Clean Slate and some of the other things we do. I want to really get this across to people this year. You can't always start with Clean Slate. We want to start with Clean Slate because we all love Clean Slate. But for some people, you have to grab their attention by starting with other things. Patrick, I'm going to ask you right now, because you and I are in the trenches together. What do you think about what I just said about sometimes you can't start with Clean Slate? Like, I can't go to a 19-year-old friend of Kreider's and say, you need to start with Clean Slate. I can go in with a packet of Zero In and say, this could help you stay focused and be able to stay on tune at your job or while you're playing sports. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. It's one of the primary reasons why we started talking about coffee. It's an easy introduction into the world in which what we are doing, whether it's helping eradicate environmental pollutants from the body, introducing somebody that might need to stay a little bit more focused or is tired, or, like Sydney, who is a mother of 2 that's constantly just taking care of her kids. These products are for everyone, and each one falls into a different category for a certain individual.
That's right. And I mean, Sydney, who's Patrick's significant other, I'll give you an example. Like sometimes when you're so tired, and I've been there, I was a mother of 4 little kids. I did not have the best personal life at the time. I was working full time. If you would have talked to me at that point, if I hadn't been a scientist, if I didn't know things, if you had talked to me about detoxing, I would have said, I'm just trying to make it. Like, I just want to make it. I want to be able to function during the day when I'm stressed and my kids are screaming or crying or fighting. What do I do? Zero in as a solution that will really touch people, which is why it was integrated into what we're doing. Again, think of your workout people. Think of the people that are going to approach you. Restore and relive. They need greens. They need protein. They need things that will really impact and give them energy. Zero in. They need focus. They need to know what's going on. You're really going to hit people with something that's not just about zero in. We grew this company on zero in because people needed it. And we built it on clean slate because people needed it. But you got to start where people are coming from. So for example, someone comes to you for weight, you're going to start with Sculpt. Someone comes to you with focus and they're tired and they're a mother and they just don't want to be depressed and they're stressed. You start with zero in. That's your focus. People come to you with an autoimmune disorder. Maybe you start with clean slate, but remember, you guys are going to start thinking about this differently, and then you're going to grow really quick because you're going to go across verticals and you're going to approach people with what they need and what they want and not what we're trying to tell them. It doesn't matter what we think. It matters what they think. We've got to touch our customers. We've got to touch people. We've got to meet them where they have the greatest need. And zero in is one of the things that will really bring solutions to a lot of the people that are involved in this community and a lot of people that have never been involved in this community and that we want to bring into this. Let's go on to the next slide. You can see the labels in both German and the United States. I would say this is the #1 product. Patrick, you can disagree with me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like the #1 thing we use when we go to trade shows and we go to events, the Oscars. I mean, we also have Rahm roast and different things we use, but this is one of the main things because people notice a difference and they come back to the booth and they're like, we want more of that. And that really helps us grow it. So, it's an adaptogenic, I can tell you this, and I haven't even had time to update our corporate team. I spent time on this particular product with some of the target groups that I met with this last weekend and this week over in South Carolina and in DC, just really focusing on what we could help people with throughout the world when it came to adaptogenics and focus. So this is an important product I think that you guys can really utilize. Give Me Back My Youth was important because here's the thing, I'm a little, when I tell you guys I'm stressed, I'm just honest with you. I worry because when people lose weight, their face becomes thin. I have a thin face, to be honest with you all. I do not use filler. People ask me all the time. I use my products. I don't use filler. I have done Botox before. I'm extremely honest. I don't do it very often. I don't like the way it looks. I have not ever used filler because I don't want to look like that. I'm not against it. I think everyone needs to do whatever they want to do. I use mostly lasers and microderm and just stuff on my skin and the products that I make. And you guys are going to have an amazing peptide formula in 3 lines that you're going to be able to use when the new skincare comes out along with Reno and the T-Mist. But the problem is when you lose the collagen and the colostrum and elasticity in your face, you look older. Even when you're young and it's too skinny, it doesn't look great. So Give Me Back My Youth, I thought was very important to add into this program so that people would not feel like they looked like they were too skinny in their face and certain areas of their body. And this really promotes skin health and helps with the aging and the wrinkles. It really helps with bone loss too, which can be an issue as you lose weight. You can actually miss some of the nutrients. It boosts immunity, it strengthens gut health, and it optimizes health performance. But I was focused really on making sure that when this program starts, I love the name, Give Me Back My Youth. I think you all explaining to people how important it is to have collagen and colostrum, not just in the muscles of their body, which is very important, in the ligaments and throughout the body, but also the face, skin, and hair. I thought it was really important to add this into our algorithm. And then finally, Crush, which will be coming out soon. And again, I am not trying to say the other products we have don't matter, but I'm explaining to you all the reasons these took dominance in this plan. The dominance was taken so you guys could touch more customers and more people and really help them in this particular area. Crush is amino acids, and I took a much different approach because I'll be honest, we were shipping to so many countries and there's so many different regulatory laws. I was extremely worried about what I could and couldn't put in it. So I don't think our corporate office knows this. I will explain this to you all. I spent months just looking at different countries and what we could ship. I also spent months speed reading through what the different countries were planning on cutting and what they were planning on getting rid of in the next 2 years. I couldn't make everything perfect, but I tried to create a formula that would really help with the immune system, energy, collagen, cognitive support, muscle support, detox, liver, kidneys, anti-inflammation, cellular health, DNA integration, DNA integrity, all of that. It was extremely important to me. I wanted people to be able to put it into a formula like a green smoothie or a protein drink so that they could really use it. That's why it's not in a pill format. I even considered that with Sculpt, I'll be honest with you guys, because I wanted people to be able to make shakes. I will tell you a great thing happened, and again, I haven't had time to update our group. We were asked in a meeting yesterday if we could take Sculpt and make it into a powder or a gel. And I said, anything I work on, I can take it into a powder or gel. It would just mean us presenting it differently at Root. If you ask us why we don't launch every formula like in different pill, gels, powders, it's because it's just another thing we have to work on. You know, it's another basically regulatory shipping issue. So we usually launch in one format, but in the next year we may do a variety. So for example, we may put Crush into packets that you guys can have. So any suggestions you have on any of this, please reach out to Patrick. He has unlimited time to field those suggestions right now. I'm teasing, he doesn't, but please do if you have suggestions, because we can change the way we're delivering this. But yes, Crush is something that's extremely important to really support this overall cellular health. Peptides are something people get and take through an IV formulation or a shot many times that really impact overall health. I'm extremely excited about this product. I will say this, and this is the truth. Clayton has started Sculpt and Crush for about a week, and he has not had time to work out, and he eats about 10 times more food than I eat, and he already is noticing a huge difference. And at first I said, I don't notice a difference. I do notice a difference actually now. But what you really should be doing with this product and the rest of the products is doing a schedule and a workout program. So let's go to the next slide. Patrick, I'm way behind. Okay, so you guys can see we're actually telling people what they can eat. Now I want to say this, you can substitute different products we have and you can switch this up, but we wanted to give everyone an ability to give them something to format and to follow. We're trying to hit 1,600 calories a day. A lot of people won't be able to hit that with what we're recommending, but we do want to stress to you guys that you need to journal what you're doing. We want to use case studies. We want this in the patient registry. I had a meeting yesterday and the day before about this patient registry. It is the number one, Patrick, number one thing we can do to change healthcare. Number one. 2 case studies, and 3, we got a commitment that we're going to have a medical school that's going to help us with double-blind placebo-controlled trials, which is a huge win for us. I want those on every single product, but we've got to take the case studies and we've got to take as well as we've got to take the patient registry. I'm going to ask the leadership of this group to track what they're doing. And I want to say this, let's say someone doesn't need to lose weight, but let's say someone wants to support the insulin levels. You would probably only want to take 1 of the Sculpt and not 2. You will probably see an increase in energy. You'll sleep better at night because of the valerian root, but I want to emphasize this. I want you guys tracking how you feel, how you look, and what you're doing. If you follow this plan, it's really important. And Patrick, I need to make sure that we tell Tiger and John and the doctors, if they follow this plan, This needs to be noted in the case study. So when we present it at the medical universities, we talk about the plan that was followed. If there's deviations, it's okay, but you just need to note how you're deviating. So as you can see, we're starting at 7 a.m. You could say to me, I don't get up at 7 a.m. That's fine. You can alter the time. This is just something to follow. But if you look at this, you're drinking water and you're taking, and I want you guys to note this, 7 a.m., because you guys are asking me, how do I take this? You're taking Sculpt at 7 a.m. You're drinking water. What I usually do that people don't know is I meditate and pray in the morning. I get up, and even if I don't have time to go work out at the gym, I do 15 to 20 minutes usually of planks where I'm trying to really hold the muscles, or weights, or I have different types of machines in my room that I'll do. And my kids used to make fun of me. They're like, Mom, you just worked out 15 to 20 minutes. And my comment is, it works. Get up in the morning if you can and do this, and then you're going to eat at 7:30. If you guys say to me, I can't do that Sculpt makes me nauseous, I have to take it with food, that's fine. I'm just giving you the optimal thing for you all to do, because that will kick in. And then when you eat, your sugar and your insulin and all the different things that are working together, it will help with that. I put mixed berry bowls with granola. You could also have an egg or something very simple like that that fits into the same calorie index. But then ReLive Greens and the collagen. A lot of times I do, and you guys know this, pistachio milk, a half a banana that's frozen with the ReLive Greens and Give Me Back My Youth. I'll add Clean Slate, I'll add Restore, I add everything in that drink. You can do that then too. And then you're gonna do 5 to 10 minutes of breathing exercises. I do that earlier, you guys heard me, but doing it after you eat at some point where you're really focusing on what you're gonna do that day is extremely important. It's not what I want you to do that day, it's what you want to do that day. What are you going to achieve? There's only one you. So what are you going to do for this world, for your family, and for you? And that's what you want to focus on. And then 10:30, you get into a snack. Patrick knows this, I'm not good at that. I do try to take a bite of something. I think he's much better at it. It really helps with your metabolism. So if you can, take a bite of something. Same thing at lunch, you're going to eat healthy. This says chicken and rice. I typically don't eat rice. I typically eat proteins and vegetables, but again, this is up to you all. You can incorporate, for example, if you're doing veggies and you decide to use, Good Morning or Day After Minerals. Patrick, is that the name? I always forget it. Day After, yeah. And then Zoded. You could add those, or Clean Spirits, in on top of your salads or on top of your veggies. You can incorporate the other products we have into this. And of course, when you wake up in the morning, for the Root community, most of you guys are going to start with Clean Slate along with Sculpt or before it, and that's absolutely fine. You go through your day, and you guys, what you're going to notice is we're recommending light cardio sessions. You may say to us, well, I'm at work, I can't do that. Again, this is just light cardio sessions. At the Root Brands and DRC Ventures, we give people breaks. They can go walk up and down the stairs, they can walk outside, they can do whatever they want. Just remember, this body is your temple, so you're going to do whatever you can to make it as successful as you can make it. Then dinner. I'm just going to tell everyone I fail at this. I don't eat till later. But it's better if you don't eat late. It's better if you eat lean protein in a dinner and fish or protein or vegetables earlier rather than later. Again, I fail at this because I'm usually working at that time, but that is your best case scenario. And then you aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Your second Sculpt, by the way, because this one is showing Sculpt in the morning. Your second Sculpt, which Patrick, we need to make sure we add this to this particular format, should be taken around lunch. Now, if you ask me, did I do that? Again, I would take one in the morning, sometimes two. I only took it at night, I think a couple of times. I was worried about sleep, but I've heard from a lot of you guys that it actually helps you sleep and that there's not a problem with that. So I wanted to make sure I pointed that out. Patrick, do you think I'm being clear on dosing, or do I need to address anything else?
No, I think very clear.
Okay, let's go to the next week 1 schedule. So let's go to the next slide, day 2, and you're going to see, now if you say to me, can I alter these days? Yes, So let's say that you don't want to do day 1, you want to do day 2. That's fine. You're going to make sure that you're altering it based on your needs, but you're going to keep record because you're still trying to follow the format. And the format is you really don't want to go over 1,600 calories. You want to focus on proteins and vegetables, working out at least once a day if possible for at least 15 to 20 minutes a day, and making sure that you're trying to sleep. And that's where you're going to get optimal results. But again, people are going to fluctuate on really what they want to do. Let's go to the next slide. All right, so then this is talking about introducing variety, and this is really going into really changing it up. And let's go back to this. People that work and work out, and Dylan and Duquesne really helped with a lot of this. It helps your body gain muscle and look better if you don't do the same workout every day. And I want to say that again. Your body does better when you nutritionally switch things up, or from a supplement perspective, or and workout perspective. You don't want to do the same workout every day. You want to switch it up. So remember that. And then let's say that some days you're like, I can only do 1, or I just did an hour, I can't do 2. That's fine. You just want to get those workouts in. If you say to me, you hurt your shoulder or you hurt your back, find something like swimming or walking that you can do. Don't make excuses to not work out. I know even when we run through the airport, like on the way back from Europe, they had to hold the plane for us. We were running through the airport. They literally held the plane for us. And, we ran for like 30 minutes. And was that a workout? Yes. Then the same thing happened in Atlanta. We actually ended up, I think we didn't make it home, right? Patrick had to come the next day. Same thing, we're running through. I count that as a workout, just so you guys know. I don't count as a workout if I'm standing on stage talking to you all or sitting here. But remember, a workout does not have to be in a workout room. You can walk outside, you can do whatever, and same with food. When you're traveling, even though it's hard, don't make an excuse to eat incorrectly. Still focus on your clean proteins and vegetables. If you're worried where you're going to eat, take nuts with you, or take different things that you know don't have preservatives and that will really still give you the protein that you need. Your veggies can come from ReLive Greens if you have to. And your other support can come from our other products, but you need to have additional protein. Now, Crush is going to help with that, but you still need to consume calories. You can't just say, I'm just going to live on this line and not consume calories. Please don't do that, because these are very strong formulations and I want these to help the world. I don't want people to lose too much weight. Let's go on to the next slide on strength training. And I would love to give Dylan and Patrick and Duquesne and everyone else, I'd love to give them credit on this. I'm not a workout fanatic. I have been an athlete my whole life, and I have worked out my whole life, and my children do too, but it's not my focus every day. I'm focused on the science for you all. And they did add at the back of this even more additional information so you guys would understand really how to do certain techniques. I want to say this. I had someone text me, what about a massage? Is that a workout? It is for your muscles. You still need cardiovascular, but actually when you get a massage, like an hour and a half massage, you are burning calories, you are working out, but it just can't be something that you're doing every day. You need to make sure you're doing weights. You need to make sure you're doing cardiovascular as well. Let's go to the next slide. So we're only at day 4, so you guys can see how integral and how specific this plan is. So again, you're going into taking your supplements, you're going into ReLive Greens, Give Me Back My Youth. You can implement the other products if you want to, the app. If you want us to include all the products, we can. But again, our issue is this. You're trying to draw people in to have them focused on this losing weight or weight management program and workout program. So we're trying to stay more focused on that than we are on detoxification. I still wish everyone that did this would do clean slate or clean spirits every morning. So you go into this and you're still doing your meditation or prayer. Meditation and prayer are very closely related. You're still taking, I'll go on to the 10 a.m. It looks like they're taking a cottage cheese, and a supplement. That supplement happens to be what we have with Crush and the different things that we're doing. So sometimes you're going to have to read between the lines. We don't want this to be too salesy. We don't want people to think because they take Sculpt, they have to take every product we have. We want them to see the changes in their life and then come back to us and say, by the way, how do I even do better with my body and better with my life? So go on to the next slide, Tiger. So you're still just at day 6. You're going into focus strength training. You have different products you're taking. You're suggesting Crush with your smoothies. You're taking Sculpt. Again, you could go in the morning and do ReLive Greens, Sculpt, and Give Me Back My Youth, and Clean Slate all in the smoothie. If you guys think we should add that, let us know and we'll reevaluate it. But what we're trying to do is give people specific directions so they can start seeing the difference in their life from 1 or 2 or 3 of our products. During this, so here's something that's a little bit hard to understand. People are having more energy. They're sleeping better. If you ask me, why do they still need Zero In? For me, I still need the extra focus of Zero In. I personally do know, and it's helped me, Sculpt has helped me have more energy. Crush has too, but Zero In really still cognitively helps me focus, and it's still very important to me. So again, if you want to take this and add different things that you want to teach with, like I would recommend you guys do roundtable discussions, you have different meetings, and you really help people understand the different choices they can have with this. Let's go to the next slide. I'm trying to get through this so I don't keep you guys too long. I know you've had a long day. This is a nutrient-rich day. You're at day 7, so you're really focusing on the nutrients, and as you can see, you've got more of the root products. If someone says to you, so you've got Crush in here, ReLive Greens, Sculpt, Zero In, Restore, and Give Me Back My Youth. If someone says, do I have to do all of those? Your comment can be, no, you can just do a lot of greens, but this is a concentrated green in ReLive Greens. This gives you an opportunity by day 7 to really have more discussions about our products and how they can help. But again, if people don't have the money to do all the products, you're starting with Sculpt and Crush, and you're focusing on those. They can do alternatives to the rest. Let's go to the next slide. This is a glimpse of week 2 schedule. This is day 8, which I really, let's go to the 2-week schedule, Tigers, just so they can see it, because we've already passed our time. This just goes into how we've really provided everyone. You can go back, Tiger, where it says glimpse of 2-week schedule. You can provide with, thank you. You can provide to everyone this calendar and go over it with them and say, you know, there's a lot of stuff on here, but you want to just start with Sculpt. And then I can tell you about the rest of the products. Give them 30 days, some people, or give them 2 weeks. If you can approach them after a week, because I would suggest a lot of you guys do weekly update meetings with these people and you really talk about it and you really get everyone excited. I mean, I would even, like if I were a female doing this, I would say, okay, our goal is in 30 days, we're each going to be down a size and we're going to buy an outfit, right? There's different fun things you can do with this particular program, but this is a glimpse of the 2-week schedule. And if you go to the next slide, it talks about holistic and it goes into nutraceutical variety day. So just stop right here real quick, Tiger. So you see you're bringing in more and more of our products at your week 2, and there's a reason for that strategically. And then you go on to your week 3, which we're really going into week 3. Let's wait for it. You're really going into different things that you can do, but you've been building up to this, right? By week 3, they've noticed changes. They're feeling better. There's lots of different things that they're thinking of that they can do. They're more understanding of really impacting their whole life and their whole body. And that's our goal by week 3. It's because you're going to see some changes by week 3. They're going to have lost some weight, or they're going to be feeling more energy, and different things like that. And then let's go ahead to week 4, Tiger. You're going to have to go past it a few slides, and you can see each day, guys, you're going to have updates on what you can do, and you're going to be able to guide people. But then you go into week 4, and you're really going to start being able to celebrate during this week some of the changes. That's where we call it the Rahm effect. Because when people say, what is it? We're saying it was different things that were formulated into the products that we've released as a company based around particular science that can be followed, and we will increasingly grow as a community to help throughout the world with solutions that have to do with helping people have the greatest life possible. And that's where you start integrating not just the nutritional supplements, but also the animal care and the skin care and the clothing. But first, people have to see a difference. First, people have to understand you care and that we're really trying to impact the world. When the crisis in this world is obesity, and it's the main thing being discussed, you guys are coming in with a solution that's helping them not just with the way they look, but the way they feel and the way they really are going to progress in life. You can't live to be 100 years old when you're overweight. You can't be happy every day when you can't breathe because your heart doesn't work and your blood pressure doesn't work. And we're not talking about claiming we cure those things. We're giving people the tools for their body so they can have the best life possible. So let's go on, Tiger, to the celebration. Yeah. So I would help some of your customers. I would do some stuff so that they can help celebrate and they can graduate from this program. They can restart it. We actually have a 90-day to 2-year program we will push out. We're starting with this one. But I would start a community and start a network internally just focused around this, and I would help people celebrate. And if we need to have different people on this channel in 30 days, I would love to. So Patrick and Tiger and Stephanie and all of you guys, please remind me. I would love for the top leaders and the top people in this company that have really worked to make Root such a great community to bring in an example from their groups that can talk about the case studies. And we need to get it back up to 1,000 people and really promote it all over the world so that we can continue to help people. So let's go to the conclusion slides, Tiger. So again, this is to help with overall well-being, and this is a lot of wording. You guys will have this. We've translated it into German, so we have this for you all to have. And then the app, I hope, can help you even more. So I really want you guys to understand, we do go into a workout examples for people that aren't used to working out. And if you guys need to have Dylan or Patrick or Duquesne or different people explain different workout regimens, we can do that for you. We can set up different Zooms, Patrick, so that they can have different tutorials on what they need to do. We will offer that if you guys are interested in that. So please let us know. We're extremely excited about how we're going to help people with this program without claiming we do anything. We just have to watch what happens. And I'm extremely excited and happy about this community and how you guys have approached it.